Before we start, just Yishakar to the sponsors, they should to bench them with culture of Gash to Ruchnis. Yishakar to Rapsachia for coming to Farbrengen. L'chaim. And to Aaron for arranging everything. Yeah. And to all the staff that are coming here.
We're just saying the nigun of Podav Shalom Nafshi, which was composed, if I'm not mistaken, time of the Rebbe Shab, the car from Temimim, the choir from Temimim put together. But definitely, it's not just a nigun stam, which is, not nigun shaited, definitely not. But nigun stam, it's also not, meaning made of sidim. It goes into the category of nigun mechubanis because it was covered by all the rabbeim of their time. So certainly, this nigun, it's not just that they randomly went through the Tillim and they saw some nice wording that describe the idea of B'diyah B'Shalom, Podav B'Shalom. And since, yes, the Alter Rebbe, B'negei Yutas Kislev, regarding Yutas Kislev, he writes to the B'ditchever that before, when I said the pasuk of Podav B'Shalom before, I said the pasuk afterwards, as Ridin, Hashem Shalom. It wasn't like, as we say, Chok, Zera Shavah. This is an el, this an el, they have something to do. It's not a random, they picked a nigun with the words, have to do with B'diyah, and they matched it up to Yudas Kislev, and for that matter, Yud Kislev, and later on Yud B'Tammuz. There's something deeper than just that. Especially though so chaviv by the Rebbe, must be there's a deeper meaning. We're used to that Ayom in the Pagras by the Rabbeim, at least up to the day of Shvi, is Chalka Gilus, and we take very much pride in it. There was times I would go to Bar Park, Yom in the Pagras, there was a bus that we went to different shuls, and someone that didn't Verzuch Siddur, he didn't have the taste of Siddur, tells me, if my Rebbe would be arrested, I wouldn't make a fuss about it. Unfortunately, they don't know what arrest means, and they don't know what a gul of arrest means. The arrest is not of a fraud of any sort. It's an arrest because there was a kitrug mile, as we say about Yutas Kislev. That wouldn't be the kitrug. There wouldn't be a chiz in this world if it wouldn't be Pearl Lamaila. And since Lamaila there was a kitrug, that's why it played down here. And once Lamaila was a release, Lamaila they gave the permission to go weiter. That's how it played out to be a Chag Gula. So it's totally not the way the Welt thinks about it, nor the arrest nor a Gula. And just like the Avur the Kula, the father of all Gulas, Yutas Kislev, as we know, famous Shabbos the Chus in Hashemayim. He asked a certain question, and actually the only one that he writes a date to when he marked it down. And because of the incident, they said they didn't answer. Then they said the reason we didn't answer because Hayom Yom Psura, Hayom Gimel Vayeshev Yutas Kislev, Hayom Yom Psura, and therefore Lamaila they were preoccupied with bigger and better things than answering, and that's why there was no answer. And as Magolis in his edition writes in the bottom, what was the Yom Psura? The Vaita the Kizdayt is that the Alter Rebbe was released. Yom Vayeshev Yutas Kislev. So it's a Yom Psura Lamaila. That means anytime it's a Chagi Gula by Arabim, it's not just a day that happens to be they were released. It's Indian Lamaila. So these basically the whole idea of the Meiser, as it was in the first Kitrug, that since, as the Rebbe says in the famous Sikha, that the Alter Rebbe, as we know, By the Magid, there was also a Maisa that the Alter Rebbe saved the Magid, right? At one time, the Pirus Kurzer came to the Magid's house and he saw a Ksav of Chassidus in a place where, inappropriate place in the yard. I won't get into it. And he, at the Choizgedit, he expressed himself, Hele Koisis are lying in the inappropriate places. You're spreading the Mayonis too far, and therefore, so taking. The Alter Rebbe realized that this is not good. As a Pinchas, his words are heard with Maila. The Alter Rebbe right away gave the mashal Yadua, the famous mashal of the Evan Yakish Abekasar Melech, the prime gemstone of the king's crown, that has to be crushed and to save the king. But then the Rebbe asks, if so, why did the Alter Rebbe have a suffix? If to go weiter to spread this, we know that when the Magid and the Al-Shandu came to the Alter Rebbe in jail, the Alter Rebbe asked, "Why am I here for?" They said, "For the spreading of Chassidus." So he said, "If that's the case, should I continue or should I stop?" So what's the suffix of the Alter Rebbe? He already was, he solved it by making this mashal to explain why we need Chassidus. Yet the Alter Rebbe is the suffix. So the Rebbe explains because the Chassidus Chabad is a whole new dimension, a whole new approach to Chassidus. It's not just drops to save the prince, save the Ben HaMelech, but rather more than just that, it's exposing what can be the future and introduction to the Yulah. So we see that the whole idea of the arrest is because it's a Größe Giluyim. And like the Rebbe says about Kitzim Bechlal, it means that there's a certain expression of Gila popping out of the socket, and that's what it is. So Chassidus is expressions of approaching Gila, and therefore each thing is great Giluim. And even it says when the Shalah printed the Siddur Shalah, Rahman Salam was Tach V'Tat afterwards because it was too much Giluim. So Giluim of Chassidus, which is even more, which the Shalah was for even Shaloyim, like the Alter Rebbe was a Shaloyim, but the Alter Rebbe making the things of Chassidus so accessible. So therefore it was too great of Giluim, and therefore it brought about a Kitrug, and then there was the green light, it went for further. So the same thing, Be'etzem, all of the Rebbeim, I saw now a Lashon of the Rebbe says, without a Meiser, there's no Geula. A Geula means that there's a Meiser, there's a restriction, there's a setback, and then there could be a Geula. There's even the Lashon that Rabbi Shab used, V'negei Yutis Kislev, and I think it comes to some Tzaddik as well, Zayis Kishakoishino Yisha Teisi Sham. When you crush it, that's when the oil comes forth. So in order to get the oil, meaning in order to get the true essence of Chassidus to come out, Kaviyach to say there had to be a Yutis Kislev and what preceded it to make it happen. Because it's too great of a Giloy to come on its own. It had to come to the crushing through the Alter Rebbe being in the matzav he was before Yutis Kislev. And the same thing goes with Yud Kislev. So every step of the way is a Giloy of Meindel till the ultimate Gula, and that's why there's the rest, and that's why our Rebbeim, because they're the ones demonstrating it, they went through a Meiser, and then there has to be Gula to go to pave the way further to be able to make that Gila.
I heard that the Kitzur was later not on Tanya, rather on like with later. Tanya told you how to live like a yid. It's not really telling you that much. William.
Today it sounds simple. Back in the day, it was not so. I went through a hard time. Chaim.
Before we continue, I put on the reprinting of minor of Sefer of the Little Letters of Modern. I put it on the name of the chat. If anybody wants to participate, James Gula could go on and give whatever you want to give. Go yeah. Everyone's having stuff. What?
It's clean, crisp format, but it's coming later. It's coming later. This print, I just had to get it back out.
Which
It has been in there. Out of.
Not like the Jasta where they cover on it.
Chaim.
Thank you.
This also explains for many different ways why, although past so many years, we celebrate it again and again as if new. No, for Rosh Yeshiva would come up with a revolutionary chat about something, and it will be controversial, and he'll be arrested, and you could call it a kitruv too. The best will be that those years Talmidim will make a Suda Sidor in that honor, and yes, give it. By us, it's not so. Yutas Kislev is as if it just happened now. Yud Kislev, it's as if it happened now. It's Thomas as if it happened now. What's the word? So first of all, it's a handle to wegen a Rebbe. We're dealing about a Rebbe. What's a Rebbe? A Rebbe is Rosh B'nai Yisrael. What's the title Rosh B'nai Yisrael? It's not just a title, and it just happens to be a beautiful Rosh Hashanah for the word Rebbe. But rather, that he's the head of our body, and we're part of the body of that big head. Meaning, Yechlolos and the Pratis, both individually and collectively, he cracked through this, whatever milestone he had to do, whatever method and whatever thing he had to do to make this thing prevail, whatever shlav, whichever stage he was, to break it through. And that is, as we mentioned just before, about the difference between the Kitruv and the Mizitch Magid. I forgot to mention before that after the story of the Magid, the Alter Rebbe, the Magid told the Alter Rebbe, "You saved my life." Because it's like a Kitruv L'mayla, and by you saying this mashal, you saved me. But there's the Indian of Rosh B'nai Yisrael. Rosh B'nai Yisrael is the thing that he. It's the switchboard, and it's the Ruach HaMoivel, it's the leader in this aspect which he brought to the world and brought to within ourselves, this specific way of connecting to the Eibishter. which did not exist before, and therefore, yes, you have to go Mesiras Nefesh for it, and therefore we're celebrating it today. And to bring out how much I love it is that it's a minor Muslim, but it has to do with Yud Kislev. So to take note, the father used to always mention that the Strashel was actually arrested in the same time with the Mittel Rebbe at the time.
What?
The Baron Strashel. And they met on the stairs.
Yeah.
And the Baron Strashel asked, the Baron Strashel was going through the interrogation, and the Mittel Rebbe was coming back. He asked, "No, what should I say?" He said, "The Amos." What's the Amos?
Going back, what's happening?
The Baron Strashel meets the Mittel Rebbe at the interrogation in that time.
What's start from the beginning?
I'm starting in the middle.
The same accusation.
Well, what happened with the Mittel Rebbe? Why was he?
The same issue, the same.
Because it was about the whole Tzidkes Yisrael coming from the Alter Rebbe's enterprise.
Same issue.
So the Rebbe tells Zog the Amos. What's the Amos? They are Chassid, they're not a Rebbe. No, what's the thing? He's not the Rebbe. That's what I Rebbe. Although the Mittel Rebbe is known to be very bitterdik, but here came the idea that he's the idea of Reish B'nai Yisrael.
His father called him that.
Right? My Rebbe. Called my Rebbe. I just don't understand. My Rebbe. Gave back my Rebbe. He used to refer, he used to get a smich from the Alter Rebbe to say a certain verse in Chiddush, and he say the Alter Rebbe would refer people to go to him. Gates in my Rebbe. What's the Rebbe? Rebbe is not a title. Rebbe is a being that he is the paved through the way and dominates our lifestyle and as a whole, as an individual, and to create new tzinodos, new valves that connect with the Meibersten to do this kav, whichever the Rebbe was, and that's what he's here to demonstrate, and that's what he's giving himself away for. The Rebbe mentions that he asked the Frierdiker Rebbe, what was the Tzemach Tzedek like in the time of the Mittel Rebbe? So the Rebbe says, there's only one Rebbe at the time. Meaning, when the Mittel Rebbe was Rebbe, he was Rebbe. There's no, when there's a Rebbe, he's the one that leads the way. So therefore, when the Mittel Rebbe is arrested for a certain performance, it's not just the technical accusations about the Tzidkes Yisrael, Kuv Gimel Alafim instead of Gimel Alafim. That's technicalities, what they picked on. But the Mittel Rebbe per se is because of what he created a new channel, a new connection to the Eibster, which didn't exist before. Not even with the Alter Rebbe, which the Alter Rebbe, as we mentioned before, is more than the Maggid and the Baal Shem Tov gave of drops of this special remedy of the Evan Yokish of Keser HaMelech mixed with water to be able to put on the lips to help the Yidden survive through Golus. But rather, deeper than that, to give a Chabad perspective in a way that we understand the Pnimis HaTorah. And we take these Getlich and Yonim, made the Lasid, a Te'ima of Lasid, and to make it in a way of Chabad that we should actually understand it. What's the idea of understanding? Understanding is the idea is that you can relate to it, you connect to it, it's real. It's not a makiv to get Indian. It's not a vague, abstract concept. It's right, it's halik. But the idea of Chabad is take that amunah and make it, chew on it, make it a real thing, make it, make it that taka, even I could relate to it in a way of understanding. And that's the idea of what the Alter Rebbe brought, which was revolutionary. Before that, the Amunah was, the Amunah came Mishpat Nayam, it says, the Schar of the Amunah, the Minu B'Hashem Moshe Avdoi, they were able to say as Yoshua, they were able to split Kei Samsu. And with the Amunah, there's the story of the Baal Shem Tov, that this person wanted, the Bashanta showed him what to daven, right? He's to daven the Siddur, and the Bashanta used to showed him this way you do Shachris, this way you do Mincha, etc. And then came a wind and everything blew away. And then the Bashanta took his kerchief and crossed the river. So this, the ganze verloren, he totally lost. So he didn't know what to do. He took his kerchief and he tried against he followed the Bashanta on the water also on his kerchief. And he caught on, and the Bashanta said, he saw him, he said, if you could do this, you're good to go. You can daven the way you're doing before. Okay, that's a Amunah. That's a Makif thing. As we know about Amunah, the famous statement that the Rebbeim Chazer over and again, and the Rebbe brought Mamish, basically the first Maimer after Yeshavas began, after Yitzhak Hamshach is Kisisi Yud Aleph. Gamba Pumach Tarta Rachmana Karim. The thief, when he's about to intrude the house, he does a silent prayer to the Eibush. The Eibush, the help, Rachmanis, let me gather this person. Let me say, like, hello, you're going over and whatever you want to say it. On a king the Eibush, the Tasser said or not the Mamsha says that's kidnapping, so saying. But the Muslim, against the king the Eibush, and you're going against the Eibush, and you're making the Eibush there, then Koichacha Gadol, let me do this theft. And that's the problem with them. And when it's just Amunah, Amunah is beautiful, but when it's just Amunah, it's vague. It doesn't impact you for real. And everyone has that within themselves. The Rebbe says there, the Yeshua have their nisyonis, how their Gamba Pumachtarta, and the Bal Yisrael have their nisyonis. Everyone has their, but so far, that's what happens when it's just a market. When it's just the market, it's abstract, and that's where the Alter became the Eifin of Chabad. The Eifin that it should be understood. Learn it. It's a subject. Learn it. See it from within the words of the Torah. See it that it means a ta'aka. And that was the idea of what the Alter over the market. And that's why there was a Yutas Kislev. To show that this kind of mahalach, although it's scary to give out that secret to Klal Yisrael. It's a revolutionary act to change a person. Change a person personally. As sein nefesh soll sein angestell. You should change. You shouldn't just be under the influence. We can dance of the parenches. You can dance on the bleachers, and mine has his lavas, or rather take a limud that the Rebbe put into words. And to words of that you can understand it with Havana Gashmi, especially you can understand it with Sechel Nusha, you could take it apart. And the Rebbe expects that you should daven with it, etc. And in personal life, and also on the global level, on the all-inclusive level, taking mamish in the way of understanding. That was revolution. That was Yutas Kislev, and the stuff for the Yud Kislev. Chaim.
The story with the Mikkel Rebbe and the Tzedek. When the Mikkel Rebbe used to get silence, so Talmud Tzedek, he would give it to the Talmud Tzedek to answer. And he prepared the answer. One time he wasn't there, and he said this anyhow. It's not Mr. Rebbe.
Chaim. And here comes the next stage, what the Mittler Rebbe did after the Alter Rebbe. In one of the Spizen Siches, if I remember correctly, the Rebbe explains the difference between the Alter Rebbe and the Mittler Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe's Akanta Sefer, besides for Tanya Shulchan Aruch, is Teira Oyer. Mittler Rebbe's Akanta Sefer is Teira Chaim. What's the difference between the word Oyer and the word Chaim? So as the Maimon was good, I saw once a letter of the Frierdiker Rebbe about the Seder in Yeshiva Temimim, how it should be. It says the first stage should be meaning giving how Siddur sheds light on Inyanim. Meaning, why do we eat matzah on Pesach? Why do we eat matzah on Pesach? Beautiful. Als je daar zijn, dan van de kabosel, en wat spelen ze. You're right. But why talk? So the Alter Rebbe gives the explanation. The Alter Rebbe gives the explanation. That since we're now recognizing our tackle, the Eibishter have to have the grain. Ain't tinike de likris abba. Actually, itam tam dogon. Amayim Musger. I think it was even in jump, so I can say with the name Rabbi Tzeitlin from Toronto. Yes, Tzeitlin. Till he was 4 years old, he couldn't talk.
You made up for it.
Oh, and still going Baruch Shem. He couldn't talk. So what did the Rebbe do? The Rebbe took a pencil, wrote a paper, give it to his mother, and said, give it to the pharmacist. Right? And she gives it to the pharmacist gives a smile, right? And then he takes out amino acid. The Rebbe wrote amino acid. And he said, said, Amol Getzayt used to do it because it has a grain component in it, and therefore, it helps the bread. Amino acid. So that's the Yitam Tam Doga. Now, but then the Alter Rebbe says there has to be in a bittul with a tam, because we're the first step of the game. So there's an amuna is on a tam, therefore Matzah by the say there's on salt, without salt, etc. So without chassidus, yes, true without telling a mitzvah because they gave the sheish and you're right. But a bit lichtigkeit, a little at the hair. What is lying behind the mitzvah? What's lying behind the yom tov? What's a yom tov? So actually, I saw in the Mittler Rebbe's word, it's about Kriyim Moed Anshe Shem. So what's Kriyim Moed? It's a hasten Yom Tov Nikas. What's the Kriyim Moed? So the Mittler Rebbe explains that the king in the palace, the ministers get to see him. The regular people in the palace, even in the palace, the workers in the palace, the janitors, the people, the upkeep, they never get to see the king. How about that? When the king comes back from a war, he just won a war, so he throws a ball, as in the Luft of the Goyish Sprach. He makes a whole Mesiba, then everyone comes and they get to see the king. And that's what the category of a Yom Tov is. So, but the specialist, the Gili of the king is over there, and therefore you see the specialist of the king, and that's that order that's on. There's Moyed, there's Kriyim Moyed, right? All different Madregas. The specialist of the king is there, that's why it's a Yom Tov. But Gei Frage him to that didn't know this. Yeah, it's the days that says in the Torah, or the Chamisha boy, yeah, mark your calendar. There you besetzt some tish, and you sing a zemer, and you eat crackers and you eat lettuce, and when the basically the standing, you had some lamb chops too, and but that was the gepravet Yom Tov. I'm sorry to say that. It's embarrassing of a Yom Tov. That's what Yom Tov is all about. And that's what Chassidus puts to light. The Alter Rebbe brought to light. Lichtig. So wissen that it's because there's a greater key. The Arizal says this going to be massive. The things are happening once again. The Gilui that was happening at the first time based on Memches, is happening once again. So Gilev Melech Kodesh Baruch Hu Giolam. There's big revelations happening as we speak, and therefore the way to connect to it, yes, by having Tam Dogon and being Bitteldik and recognizing that's because the Munah that is supposed to have to the Eibishter at this point without any flavoring, you connect to the Eibishter. And you connect with dog, all these inyanim. That's how the head and what's going on. It's under Yom Tov. It's a whole different day. What Shabbos is the 7th day that Shabbos Menucha. It's a thing that's beyond say the Shtalshlos, and therefore Dafka Yid to not no one but a Yid could connect to it. It's not different, Chas v'Shalom, but it's lichtiker. It's illuminating. It's shining. The Lakusa is expressed, and that's what the Alter Rebbe brought to the platform. That is 11 lichtiker. You should look at things more vibrant, more alive. Milton Rebbe took it to the next level. Tevis Chaim. What's Chaim? It's not just lichtik. It's just shed the light, you open the light bulb, it's lichtig. But rather Chaim durch, it penetrates you. And that's why by the Mittler Rebbe was as mishnayte finger, if you would cut his finger, you wouldn't get blood, you would get chassidus. Why? His whole consummation to mind, the whole being, the whole vezin, the whole being of the Mittler Rebbe and Reish B'nai Yisrael, he spread it to us. It's not just he in his own cubicle, he was the big tzaddik that gelebt in Yon. He was Reish B'nai Yisrael, he fed it to us. That he fed the Yonim of the Lichtigkeit of Chassidus, it should be gelebt. Meaning it's our bloodstream. That's what the Rebbe says over there by the Shpizim. It's the bloodstream. The Chayvus Anor, what happens with the Chayvus Anor? When you have something, you can have it, I hear you. Okay, so lichtig, so voil. But the Mittler Rebbe took it to the next level. Bina, the Chayvus Anor, express it, take it, elaborate. Just like I don't want to say lahav, but by Nigla, elaborate a word, take it apart, explain it from this way, and make something out of it. So under the hair, the same thing in Chassidus. So the lichtigkeit. The Alter Rebbe brought that it's not just a life savior of her, get like a word from a shtickle zoya or shtickle word from Bashel, you're inspired in your survival. True, it's survival. The pill will keep you to the next day. The Alter Rebbe took it to the next level, so sein lichtig that everything you do, the Tavlen von jeden Tag, the what is their talk, that it should be lichtig. The Mittler Rebbe took it to the next level, it should be licht and lebendig. You should live it. When you elaborate something, when you explain something, when you elaborate on something, it's more vibrant. It's your whole bloodstream, your whole body's taken over by it. And that was a great uftu. And the world seemingly want to fight it. The Walter can't table sein. If El Quds will be such a way, not just as lichtig, the light is on, but it's vibrant and it's alive and it's for real and in the kishkis. We can't handle this. It's too full, it's too much. So there was a kitrug. And as the Rebbe says, that the kitrug of the Alter Rebbe had to be from Yidden. Because not a Yid can untap in the Indian. And by the Mittler Rebbe had to be Mishpacha. Unfortunately, it had to be mamish from within to be able to make such a kitrug because it's too able to Stama Shmender could sich anscheppen. Huh? Ain't marichin. But that's the vote, and you can't. So therefore, it was because he was mamish getting, Nishtem Ziz Zakman, not for naught do we say that the middle of Siddim didn't need Mashiach was him gehat to give Achsidis. Although they were poor as anything. And the middle Rebbe said that Achsidis should be sold for kopkes, but Yom Gehat Poshet, Achsidis that Poshet, I'll tell you a secret. It's not my fault. I learned with a younger man Achsidis, this is 15 years ago. And we decided to learn Teres Chaim Mittler Rebbe's Anloch Shishi. So we started at 9 o'clock, and we were learning in the Koilo on Union Street. This is before you have to tell us anything. Before we look at the clock, it's 1:30 already. You get pushed drowned in the middle of Chassidus. It takes you for a ride. It's as if taking a raft and just floating and floating. So my shame himself. It's pushed. You can lose yourself in the misholim and the gemois, and every mushal is rucht. It's nifshal. It's not a mushal af. It's in itself, and that's Mittler Rebbe Poshet makes it that it should be mizolav. It's that's why Dafka Mittler Rebbe stark Indian from even more than Indian avoid the tefillah and adracha pnimis, and the Mittler Rebbe had mamor for each type of chassid. Therefore, kushel bina and for this chassid bekech, for the Poshet the Balchuva bekech, even each one had their, because he Poshet infused azah, not just a open the light, I'm get no, but experience it and live it, and the kricht of the kishke is that there's not one organ of our body, not just the Reish B'nai Yisrael, the Rebbe, Mittler Rebbe has, that as you got a tzaddik, that you cut his finger, you get chassidus. No, he's Reish B'nai Yisrael, he's our head. He's the head that fed with us, that our life should be, as we understand the fingers, those are chassidus. We should live chassidus, and that's what the Mittler Rebbe Tuvkit taught. And Davke family. No one else can tap into it. I'm stuck with the skin that had in them. He has no clap, just like okay, won't get into them. I'll stop short. But I'm stuck with the skin clap in them. Davke mishpacha, and the agam is the mistaglish mishpacha, but people some got their head, the kavyocho, they invited the Alter Rebbe back, right? The Shviger invited the Alter Rebbe back, and the Alter Rebbe said in Tzidke Mama's Bush gate minished. Although the kid, he's told Kol Kula, if you offer him to go back, he's not going back so fast. But the Mittler Rebbe taught that we should live Chassidus, not just be inspired, or even more than that, have the light on and wow. No, wow is nice, but live Chassidus. And that's what the Mittler Rebbe taught, and that's why there was a kitrug once again. Come again, kislev, that also leading up to the Geula, we need that kind of lifestyle as well. Side the guy, side Zich, and side the Welt needs it, and that's what Yudkis is all about.
So there's that type of lifestyle. What?
Thank you.
The Lashon of the Frierdiker writes to the Rebbe of how Dafke, the Alter Rebbe, really got it from the Baal Shem Tov. Now coming. Lashon like this about the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe goes into the depth of the one that goes off the way. Kriegt in his kishkis and paves a way as if with a tractor, giving him a way so they, and that's a Rish B'nai Yisrael. Rish B'nai Yisrael doesn't just, the way of Chagas was that you're inspired by my Rebbe to grace Dveikis. My Rebbe now he's rolling his eyes and he's mamish. Okay. It's online, but be careful. He's mamish inspired. He's mamish. And what's up with me? I'm his chassid. Chabad is no. The Rebbe, any Rebbe, he's creating channels. You know, what did the Rebbe Shab say? He's creating telegrams, right? And cables. As the cubs will verstehen was the Herz filled, on the Herz will verstehen was the cub versteht, right? What does that mean? The Rebbeim are Pashit, forget about bringing new pathways to connect to the Eibishter in general and paving the way to the Gula. All good Sachen. But the paving within ourselves proper, each one individually, a channel that we could mamish gruntiger thoroughly connect to the Eibishter in a real way. Whether it be through a mimer that sheds light on what the Pasuk or the Chazal is saying, and this thing, that it's not just a nice gedank, a nice word. Reminds me, when I went to Lucha, when I was a bacher, I went to that show for 20 years after it. So basically they gave me the shul to Lucha. They said, they have an environment yachas, they have a close connection with Lubavitch. Don't worry. And now it's Simchas Day. We couldn't get through to them, Hashem and Abba. But you can go now to Kofis. Anyhow, Kofis very better. Who asked this? I go there, and lo and behold, they said the reason why there was no answer, unfortunately, the Rav Nifter Shana Abba. But came before Kofis, one of the sons of the Rav. Then they had both sons over there. Now this son went actually to Lakewood. He says, there's a laws in Chabad Reden, there's a bedroom Reden. Okay. So I said about the rap to say potato white, and I said that Teres Milosh Klita. I was only 19 or 20 years old. People be allein verstanden was gesagt. Teres Milosh Klita absorbing. So there was one Polish Litvish geworden because he wants to be more sophisticated. Teres Milosh Klita American word. So you missed the boat. Not the American word. The whole thing is to penetrate us. So durch them and the Rebbeim didn't give us vertlach or a word to live by. Yes, of course, nam a word and be inspired, true. But the Rebbeim Poshet gave Poshet, so then lichtiker, we should see the Inyanim, how they are alive and for real. Poshet seeing the Poshet, what it really, really meant. As we mentioned before, the Shalom, he just first we see the Shalom, we were in the Ketrugin. Rabbeim Pasha spilled the beans for real. They said it for real. That what's with the better spell Yonim and Amezes B'Tachtin? What is this Yonim that we're talking about? It's not just they spilled the beans that the better spell Yonim and Amezes B'Tachtin Mazota. No, they just spelled it out, Mamish, what's really going on. As we know, the Torah is in Pasui and older Rabbeim. Pashut shed the light what it's really all about. What is the Torah really talking about? And that's the Rebbeim gave that. Then they told us about, so the Lashon today, I'll paraphrase, I'm not saying the Lashon at all. A lot of times with the Ayin Alimud, yes, it becomes wichtig. But it's like, you still didn't get out of yourself. You still didn't get out of your bubble. So it's nice, inspiring word, but it didn't really take it. That's where the Rebbeim introduced Avodas Atfilah. Avodas Atfilah is not just you have a mimer and then there's davening. The Rebbe told Rav Nissen, the Rebbe told my father also that the idea of Avodas Atfilah is to, in today's generation, Kutzes Atfilah it says to be mizbon in different Mali, Sefer. But the Rebbe said in this generation you take or you learn that day of Chassidus, make it for real and then daven with it. I'm not shy to it, so don't accuse me of anything. I'm just saying facts as they are. The Rebbe said the Lashon, this is what I'm going to Lashon Lashem, that the Gul of a Nefesh Elikis is through Avodas Atfilah. What's for them? I'm younger than 90% of the crowd over here, so I shouldn't be the one talking.
I'm younger than 100% of the crowd, no?
I think he's in.
I'm younger.
Libra was younger. Okay. 99%. Okay. I shouldn't be the one talking. What is Avodas Atfilah? It's not just bank fetching. You're sitting on a bench, and he sat for 2 hours, he sat for 3, he sat for 6. You know, my father once told me, famous Tommy Chassid of Chaim Yeina. Chaim Yeina Lutzki was someone that the Frierdiker Rebbe used to look on by the Mamor. Right? The Rebbeim used to look on, the Rebbe Shab used to look at the Frierdiker Rebbe, and so tiresome machshava. So he looked at the Chaim Yeina.
He never eyes closed.
No. It's a chiddush of the Rebbe because the Rebbe had no candidate. It's not available. What's coming on? Yeah. Chaim Yeina. Chaim Yeina Lutzki. So Chaim Yeina, the Paris Moshkin sees him once in Yom Kippur. You have to remember, it's not going to be behind the Eivdim that they start, okay, the Rebbe gives the Irah, here you Kaddish and Baruch Hu, and then daven. But this is before that Irah. Let's be Mamschus and Allah. And don't give me the meaning. It comes by the break, the Paris Moshkin sees him saying, hey, the Hashem Nefesh Avodov. You know where that is in davening. It's before Baruch Shama. So the Paris tells him, at the Vesazay daven, was standing in the Shana Rabba. He thought he finished the next day. Nicht again. But what's this word? What's this daven? Daven is you take the inspiration, take the nekuda, the lichtigkeit and the vibrance of what you had in that mimer that you learned with that day. And tefillah is menoshe typically because you're bonding with the Eibishter with that inspiration that you have. And the Rebbeim gave us channels and drachim and how. And the Kutas Pilus said that, you know, I once went to tell them, they had, they brought that, I think Chatzkel Lovenstein brings down a Pil Parshas Piyurim and Kutas Pilus in his essay. Believe it or not, it reached everywhere. It's on 11 by them. There, it's a nice quote. So this is not about quotes. The problem with Asmalanishki Chassidus, it's a nice word. It's a word. Levenstein. No, the one that gave the class, Lovenstein from Chicago, quoted Chatzkel Lovenstein. He quotes Lamed Beis Lamarami Parich. I should have it on my home, the notebook. I could show it to you. But that's not the word. The idea is not the quote. The idea is love with them. Chassidus is to live what you know. So as we know, the Hillel from the Kutas Pilus, which the Mitra Rebbe says it's not Koil Meir Kavanah nor Kavanah Meir Sakoil. That they're being fully inspired. It's That's not the word. So the and Rabbi Parsha suffered afterwards because he overstressed himself and said Gishat, Begashmis. But the idea is the Rabbeim gave us not just Mamorim that give us Sai Asis and Hasbara that even a Nefesh Sichel should understand. And the Rebbe says also the Sichlis is the Moich HaGashmi, that your flesh and blood live it. But rather to live that way. And that's what the Mikla Rebbe gave each one their channel of how to live a connection with the Eibishter. Not just a lichtig word, like we said before about matzah or whatever Indian may be. It's a lichtig, sebach lichtig, and it paves the way. It's a illuminating word. You're not dark in the tunnel, paving kisuma metabes baruva like a blind man trying to find the skylight, but living by it. And the Rebbe gave us navigation and how and what, and the Alter Rebbe has even a mimer that's saying that at times words don't do it, a niggin will do, and that's why a niggin without words is a powerful method to connect in a lichtige, lebendige weg, and that's what the Rebbe did. And they want to Mesiris Nefesh for it. And the notion is that the Alter Rebbe Mesiris Nefesh to make us face to face with us was that we should connect with the Eibishter. That's what the Rebbe wanted Mesiris Nefesh for, and that's Chagig Yula. They spilled the beans. They spelled it all out, the direction, the navigation, everything. They put it for us, and as the Lashon is, I don't know if I mentioned before or not, I'm losing my mind already. But the Alter Rebbe went into the kishkis of the Balaveda to bring it, to get it, to like carve out as if a tractor, paved the way for him to connect with the Eibishter. He went into our kishkis and paved the way that we should connect with the Eibishter. It's not a Rosh Yeshiva to exact the same pshat and it's controversial and to get caught up with this. It's creating channels of how we connect with the Eibishter, and that's what the Rebbe wanted Mesiris Nefesh for. And each Rebbe further and further, and that's why it was a big chiddush when the Alter Rebbe with Yutis Kislev. It's not just drops of the Evan Yokesh B'Keser HaMelech. It's spilling the beans. It's actually saying where it's at. It's tasting loss, love it, and it's premature. And then the Mitra Rebbe taking more. As in Ishtar lichtige word in your kishkes, it's going to be till the Kvaim Sheberegel. It's going to be penetrated. Your bloodstream is going to flow, living, Amsa Heil Kevet, and living by it. It's Chedushim. It's not Chedushim as a nice shetel, a nice word, nice revolutionary psak, if you may. It's a revolutionary way of life. And not only way of life, it's exposing what's this a Gula life? What's a Gula life? A Gula life is Milav Taste preview now. Taste preview. Live a Dasas Elikim Belvad life. Okay? Step by step. The Alter Rebbe brings Erd, the Rebbe brings Chaim, and so on and so forth. The Rebbe. That's what Yud Kislev is over Yutas Kislev. The Yutas Kislev, the revolutionary was that the Alter Rebbe shed partial light. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. I'm giving the light right here in the tunnel. Veselem like Yulalem. How? You'll see that matzah is not a cracker. Matzah is elokus. Like the Rebbe says, as best matzah is min elokus. It's living, getlikite. It's a living, vibrant thing. And yes, and Avona the is that so you could digest it till you make a gashmi. And the Alter Rebbe says, you become infused. You become. This is your life. Like what made that the tomatoes that you're eating here, the crackers that you're eating here, goes into your kishkas. As they that they go into your body and the minerals or whatever the benefits that is stays within inside. The Arizal says, the Alter Rebbe says, you cannot explain according to medicine how it works. But that's the fact. So take a word of Torah, a listic word from Torah, it becomes you. And that's the Ufta Chassidus. And that's what the Alter Rebbeim sat for it. They went through, and I forget, the sitting didn't set them back. On the contrary, as we said in the beginning, the more they were squeezed, the more they spilled out. They gave out more and more gilui of this great gilui that you're going to live with Elokus, you're going to live in the Das Hashem Bavad world by eating and chewing and understanding about Chassidus and living by it. And that's what the Alter Rebbe achieved, and the Mitzvah achieved didn't invite it. That's what's saying. Chaim. That's what Nate. I'm after 40, so do you have that? Till 40, I didn't touch one. Once by mistake. Shkach Pratis was saying now, you'd be Stammes again. What's the connection of this Thomas to Yud Kislev? Okay, the general picture we'll get to it later. But specific, that's punkt what we're speaking about right now. Every Rebbe brought this nekuda of Leben Göttlichkeit. Leben Ladassis Hashem Bavad. To live that lifestyle, not just know it, live it. You know, like the Alter Rebbe said, Ishver, or the Dishver said, Ishver, Sie sagt nicht weiß, right? So why did you go to the Mizrich? Yes, weiß ich, als du da Eibeste. Right? And then he said, I'll call over the maid. No, obviously, yeah, I know. Says, she says, but I know. Knowing means that, like, knowing the Kafayat. You know your family had. You know it. It's alive. It's for real. Knowing is knowing. Not like knowing a piece of information. I heard once a word, although this wasn't the initial word at all, officially the Samsdigen was actually as a Gor on the word, which is a very typical word for itself. The first at the Baron, when he made the Nigen, he made it actually right after Test of Sivan. He didn't make it the covered Yud Tammuz, he made it that there will be a Yud Tammuz. And he said, Taka, it's a question and answer. Taka, the Rebbe is arrested, the Rebbe is arrested, but the Rebbe is not befreit. The Rebbe will be released. And it's a farbrengen for itself. Here's Mahalcha Machshava. And the cloud, that's what the Rebbe invested in the Indian from the Keich HaNigen. And Nigen portion captures the things where words can't explain, and it just gets into it. It's a whole word for itself. But then there's a word. My younger brother, he farbrengs here from time to time. When he was a Bach in Yeshiva, he told me a word that he heard, a very reich word, whether it's true or not true, but there's a reich word about this nigga. It's a question and answer. What's the question? Mainly you this kislev. No. The whole arrest was about Chassidus. The freedom of Chassidus belongs to Chassidim. Verstehe ich. But Yiddish Talmud, it's about Yiddishkeit. What does it have to do with Chassidut? A Maimer HaMuzger, I think it's in the printed version or the unprinted version of Rabbi Weingarten, living around the block on Rosholm's book, the Tzitzior, brings that Rav Klemes. I later on saw that it's in the Poskim, there's a gerechnet, ich weiß wer es was, the Rabbi of Moscow, which unfortunately he was very not pro-Chassidus. But when it came to Test of Sivan, he was Gezer Tainus in his shul. And when Yud Beis Talmud came in, I don't know if he said to say Hallel or automatically said not to say Tachlis. Like my high, he's not the biggest friend of Siddim. Camera don't look. He said to burn the Tainus. He was not the pro Siddim at all. He said no. And the Frierdiker was arrested. The Shulchan Aruch was in jail. And when the Frierdiker was released, the Shulchan Aruch was befreit geworden. The Shulchan Aruch was released. Meaning the whole Yiddishkeit was on stake with the Frierdiker being in jail. So the shaila is, it's about Yiddishkeit. So why are Chassidim celebrating it? The answer is no. Yiddishkeit is Chassidus Eichet Shuldik. Yiddishkeit is also thanks to Chassidus. Pshat. That's what we're speaking about. The Rebbeim brought that this Ladasas Hashem Bavad, this 11 mitavot from Eibishter, 11 halachos. It's not just living in your Siddish clothes and you live in your own Daldamas, Bas Ashir L'Kutatera, and it's Taka, the Rebbe quote that the Rebbe Shab said, L'Kutatera Shabbos Yudaiti V'Yisiv. Right? Emerson, right? Kasiril. The Rebbe Shab gesagt, dass L'Kutatera Shabbos Yudaiti V'Yisiv. Meaning, if I would know him, I'll be him. Meaning, it's an Eishtik Elokus, you're bonding with the Eibishter. There's no greater bond with the Eibishter than learning Chassidus. The Frierdiker Rebbe took it to the next level that Parashat Yiddishkeit is dependent on Chassidus. As the Frierdiker Rebbe describes in that Kufa, a Pasha fell on his lap. He's here busy teaching Chassidus, and meanwhile Yiddishkeit is on the cycle. Everyone's out for lunch, as we say. No one's available. This Rav and this Agud and this everything. Everything's busy with their own thing. The Friedrich Rebbe said, Pasha Fallen is not here. I had to get out of Yiddishkeit is a mistake. What's a pshat? Pshat is that without Chassidus, Yiddishkeit is a shena theory, a nice concept, a nice vision. Okay, it survives. It's not. If there's other countries, okay, in Germany they're okay. We're surviving. It's interesting again. Chassidus is that it penetrates that part of the Shulchan Aruch, a part of the Yiddishkeit is dependent on Chassidus. To live, the Friedrich Rebbe writes to Rav Nachum Zembe that he would like to make a koilo, right? And he should run the koilo, and they should teach Chassidus. And Friedrich Rebbe says, "Be'etzem, I wouldn't mind which Chassidus, but technically, the only Chassidus that survived Russian oppression was Chassidus Chabad." And actually, I don't know if my father knew about it because it was not. The English wasn't printed at this Mem Gimel. My father said, why is he after pushing the agenda of Chassidus Chabad? Because the only ones who survived Russia were Chassidus Chabad. So it's not just it's not a political statement. It's not we're the winners. It's Pashut Chassidus in a way, as we brought up before, that Tzai Sechel D'Kedush, and then it penetrates in Sechel Nushi, and Sechel Nushi in the Moich HaGashmi. Your physical mind thinks Elokus. You live differently. And that's why Chatzke brother, right? His father was in Breslau. Where did he send his son? To the Chadorim. My uncle Moshe Rubinson was his Melamed. In addition, the famous story that they were arrested, they put in the orphanage and Michal saved them. What's the divide? Chassidus Chabad is not a fanfare. It's not we have a library of topics on godliness. Chassidus is a lebedik azach. Chassidus is for real. Chassidus is your bloodstream, as we brought up before. Chassidus is your life. And that's what the Friedrich Rebbe said. Pashat Lebna, Pashat Shulchan Aruch Lebna. You also need Chassidus. If not, it won't be surviving. Yiddishkeit is on the stake without Chassidus. And that's what all Rabbi Seinu went through. This and went through, as the Rebbe we quoted before. The Rebbe says, "There's no Gul if there's no Meister before." There had to be the Pasha to push through that Nakuda. It's taken to the next level, whether in ourselves or the world at large. That's what Chassidus is. Chassidus is not a philosophy. Yes, it's a philosophy, but it's not a philosophy. Moshe Gukov, I was told, went to Montreal, and Professor Bauer sees him sitting 3 hours before he davens, and he's thinking. He says, "What are you thinking?" He said, "I'm meditating Chassidic philosophy." And that's how Professor Bauer became a Chassid. Yes, it's thieves. It's a philosophy. It's very thief. But that's not where it stays. Chassidus is that it goes through it penetrates in the kishkas, and it penetrates within ourselves. And that's what the mitzvah of Teres Chaim. It's not just Torah. Torah is lichtikus, is vile. It's beautiful. Without that, you're in the dark. Kisuma metabes baruva. You're like a blind man trying to find the skylight. You never find it. True Mishnah is Divrei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Gemara is Divrei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Shulchan Aruch is Divrei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But you consume the tapas baruva. You're tapping and you tap the tap savant. Comes along, says it sheds light. As Torah comes along to the Chaim, it's not or. It's not just lichtigkeit. It's Chaim. It's your kishkis. It's your life. You're living differently. You're living a life of Ladas Hashem Bavad. You're living a personal Geulah life. And yes, the Rebbeim had to go through pain again. Yisurim Neroim to make that for real. And it's not just a nice topic, a nice subject. It's sinam durch. It goes in the kishkis, and therefore, yes, take a word, sit on it 1 minute, 3 minutes. You know, Rabbi Shlomo Chaim told the Rebbe that Bacha thinks 3 minutes. The Rebbe Jota says, "Wow!" Rabbi Shmingi says that the Rebbe was excited. I feel from a 3 minute tract of Chassidus. Okay, be 3 minutes Chassidus. I'm not saying to be like Moshe Yukov 3 Chassidus. And not even like the Rebbe told my father 15 minutes at the talk. You know, I'm not getting to that. But the Musik chew over, take it for real, make it for real, and stel sich heidu. That's what Chassidus Chabad is. That it's not just a subject. It's not just a lechtige word, as the Polish would say. It's not a lechtige word. It's a for real, and it's a bloodstream. It's your kishkis. You know, it says, but Avram Ekev Shashama Avram Bekoili at the Piyat the head. The Piyat the head. It's circulated. It wasn't just like a word, you know. Gehört a moeilijke woord bij de farbrengen dat gedacht, it's a moeilijke woord. You missed the boat, a moeilijke woord. Ekev, the Piyata, the heel, heard it. The heel, it resonated within the heel. His heels when Vayisa Yaakov es Ragel, and Shom Psurte Vayisa Yaakov es Ragel. The whole dynamics, the whole being changed thanks to our word. The head of our students, the ganze Guf is anders. The ganze Milat anders. Why were sitting for? Because they lived in the Getliche word, and it changed them. They became more vibrant. And that's the word from that's Chassidus. Chassidus is as nicht nur a subject. It's a real for real thing. So that I can start with the Alter Rebbe, but the Milter Rebbe to get the next bit. Okay. Wann kann man singen eigentlich? Stillheit nicht sterben. Wie darf it say to Sie darf it alleine say to We didn't get to the punchline yet.
That's not the punchline?
No, that's not the punchline. I'm telling you, it's not the punchline. We got into cases. She is in the door.
Aaron Cronin.
Aber er hat mir gesagt, dass der Rebbe gesagt hat, also es viel zu der Käse, weil es auch in Samachsadek. Also es viel zu der Käse, weil es auch in Samachsadek. Ay, 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 ay,
I want to make sure because people are complaining that I didn't clear their invoice.
Okay.
I don't know how these people are. guy MC Katzman.
I know, because he has to update the book.
Can I see it? From where? Which rabbi? So ask him if you get a pre-release.
We're working on it. I'm saying,
How was all that? Nobody remembers.
I need to come down to him. I don't come tomorrow, but I don't feel. No. Not flu. Just shivering. COVID. Some COVID. The flu.
we just found out about it by the show. Yeah, was that what I'm saying? I'm like, hold on. David told me if it would be my cousin's lifetime, he would kill me for saying these words.
I just want to say, just because you're on TV doesn't mean you can't say anything. That's all I did. Turn it off and say what you want to say.
I have no way to do it.
It's meant to be said, say it. It's not meant to be said, it shouldn't be said at all.
Every time you talk.
Before now,
Every time you talk. You want to touch people, the Jewish world,
before.
you gotta, these guys are.
Chaim, Chaim.
Same time.
Maybe that's not in Arab. You want to speak us in Arab? Everybody else is the business side. What hope do we have then? Come on, sir.
Yeah.
Fine.
Is it the punchline yet, Bush, or not?
Yeah, no, wait till the Chaver come back, and then we could do. Maybe in the punchline.
Punchline has extensions too. Depending on the choir, Depending on the... This is preview. Sing noch ein Ding. Das ist der Element, den ich meine, no? Ja, na, na, ja, na, na, ja, na, ja, Don't run away. 5 minutes. We start this by breaking Pad B'Sham Nafshi. What's the Pshat Pad B'Sham Nafshi? David the Melech is it more son of Shalom? What's the Pshat? The Rebbe says like this. Who's this Nafshi? Who's Pad B'Sham Nafshi? Who's David the Melech talking about? His personal war is our war. Elvaden Podo Visholim Nafshi is speaking about the Chiddush of the Nefesh. The Chida Klolis. The Chida Klal Yisrael is going through troubles. It has to be redeemed. We explained there now Avodas HaProtis. True, that's the Avodas of Chassidus Chabad. Deal with Avodas Nefesh HaProtis. Avodas HaTfilo. Chassidus Adaita the Nafshe. Very true. But there's the global picture of it as well. Not to escape from our Avodas Nefesh HaProtis, but rather collectively, the Avodas Nefesh HaProtis. Nefesh HaKlolis. No mistake, the Rebbe quotes a Radak. That David the Melech is saying, Podo b'sholom nafshi. As we know, Odo, Moshe, David, whatever, all those that represent the Naran Chai of Klal Yisrael, the Nefesh of the Neshama Chai Yechida. Yechida Klolis is saying, Podo b'sholom nafshi. David Melech is speaking about his Neshama Klolis, Yechida Klolis, B'Seif Goluson. The end of the Golus will go through troubles and turbulence to bring about, to express the Yechida Klolis Goluson. And there'll be, as we expressed throughout the whole night till now, go through the Golus and to bring about this Yechida Klolis to be for real in each individual and collectively. And that's why he says, Podo b'sholom nafshi. If you realize, the Alter Rebbe says also, b'sholom is touched b'sholom. B'sholom means l'mayla l'mata l'mayla to l'mayla. There's the b'sholom to bring all the Yom Malkus, level after level, lower and lower till it reaches our kishkes. But that is b'sholom l'mata l'mayla. That our kishkes should elevate up and up and up. The Rebbe says about the ragel bar zeisim motu raglin beraglin. Our feet, that means the beater till our feet to reach the feet of Mashiach Tzidkenu on our hazeisim. Podo b'sholom nafshi is that the Rebbeim. This is the Rebbe's Wörter, the Shemona Wörter. Each one of them had Podo b'sholom in their own way. The Alter Rebbe is b'shlishi b'shavua on a Tuesday, and as it's known, says the Rebbe, that the Rebbeim, when it was the time of Tzorah, they said Tilim b'shufi. They said Tilim fluently. That means the Yom HaShavua, not just the Yom B'Chedesh. So the Alter Rebbe was on a Tuesday. Comes closer the Mittler Rebbe, Yud Kislev, that everyone says that it's a Yud Kislev, it's Yud B'Chodesh, everyone says Podo b'sholom nafshi. Podo b'sholom nafshi, that the Yechida is it's not going through a war. True, the Mittler Rebbe explains in his pod in the Shai Tshuva, or the Shal Nafshi, the Mittler Rebbe explains the war and Avakim Zabizah, Dafkim because they're close, they're wrestling and they're trying to bring about Yaakov versus Esav. Of course, versus what? But the Mittler Rebbe explains Yud Kislev is everyone says Pada B'Shalom Nafshi, even the common folk says Pada B'Shalom Nafshi to express the victory of Yechida Haklolis and Yechida, which is Mashiach, Yechida, which is Rebbe, to express it, to bring it out within, and brings it out further. And Rebbe says in Omaimer, Toshim Abov, every Rebbe in their own way had their Pada B'Shalom Nafshi. The Alter Rebbe, as we said Tuesday, the Mittler Rebbe, Yud Kislev, and the Frierdiker Rebbe Yud Beis Tammuz was on a Tuesday. That's the idea. It's not so by chance. There's no such a thing as by chance. The idea of Yechida Klolis is expressing and bringing out, and Sai Rosh B'nai Yisrael, he brings out within us personally, and Sai brings in the Velt Klolis to bring about the Ladas of Hashem, not only Ladas, but Kenan. Know it as your palm of your hand. Al-Kul should be vibrant, Al-Kul should be for real. Bring it about not just as a concept, but for real. But till the Shvi, all the celebrations is Chag Giyul. Whether it's Yutes Kislev, whether it's Yud Kislev, and even Yud Beis Tammuz. Comes along the Shvi, it's a whole different level. Lo and behold, Yud Dalet Kislev was which day? You're my. The Zog's doch facts as they are. Which day of the week was it? Yud Dalet Kislev Tovrish Peitas. Which day of the week was it? Tuesday. It was not on a Wednesday.
He says Tuesday.
It was on a Tuesday. The Blavik tells the Rebbe it's not Psulanissis B'nayim Aravi, it's on a Tuesday. Tuesday is Pada B'Shalom Nafshi. Tuesday is Pada B'Shalom Nafshi. As the Rebbe says, there could be Pada B'Shalom Nafshi, you win the Menagid. And then there's Pada B'Shalom Nafshi, there is no Menagid. That's Pada B'Shalom Nafshi Yudal Kislev. There's no Menagid, there's no opposition. Deir Hashvi, there's no opposition, but it's Glat Pada B'Shalom Nafshi. The Rebbe doesn't need a Chag Giyula to make his victory and his winning over the world and bringing the Yula, the Dasas Hashem Belvad in our daily life. It's part of the B'Shalom Nafshi. The Rebbe brings about, it's a Tuesday, it's a prostatinstic. It's part of the B'Shalom Nafshi. That's it out. Hey, Tavis, which Wednesday of the week? Tavshim Zayin. No? Tuesday. Part of B'Shalom Nafshi. We win it again. Part of B'Shalom Nafshi. That's the idea. Part of B'Shalom Nafshi, till Deir Hashvi was, as we quoted before, the Rebbe says, As Nishdoki and Meister Nishdoki and Giyula. You need a Meister to bring a Giyula. Comes along Deir Hashvi, we don't need a Meister. We don't need a jail of a Rebbe to bring about the Gula Klolis and the Gula Protis. We don't need that. We have other avenues, other directions to bring about a Suzayin a Gula Klolis for Klal Yisrael, Zoreshkich for the Finster and Golos, and our Gula Protis, Avedis Atfila, Chassidus. I'm not going to get into it. I'm too young to speak. I'm only 42. Gula Klos, Gula Protis to bring about, to express, to bring about, to crack out of this ghost mindset of ours, to live a gula protis and gula klolis in every aspect and every element of our life. And as a whole, that's what Yud Kislev is. Yud Kislev brought it that it's a conventional way, that it's not just a Yud Kislev, Yichidus Gula. When time of Tzara, they do go, they learn, they do Tehillim B'Shufi, they do Tehillim L'Mei Shavua. It's also L'Mei Chodesh too, for the common folk like us. That's Yud Kislev. Yud Kislev brought it to the next level. There's no menagid, there's no opposition, but Pod B'Shalom Nafshi. And that's the Rashvi. The Rashvi, we have a lot of Yom Pagos. Till the Rashvi, there's Yom Pagos only Chag Gidul. Realize? Hey Kislev, did you celebrate? Did you celebrate Hey Kislev? Hey Kislev, the Tamasad got married. Why didn't you celebrate? It's not the Rashvi. The Rashvi, every little factor is a Chag Gidul. Because till the Rashvi, we have to crack the ice. We have to break through the ganze ghost shaft, the whole ghost mindset. That had to be a meister, to be a gula. You test kislev, yud kislev. There had to be a ghost to be a gula. Tereshvi is no. There's no ghost. There's no menagid. There's no opposition. It's a glad gula. Yud Kislev is on a Tuesday. Hey Tavis is on a Tuesday. Okay, there was opposition. We'll get into that right now. But the whole idea is what we said at the beginning. It's nicht nur a lichtige Wort, it's a lebendige Wort, your bloodstream, and the Friedrich brought it, your prostate Shulchan Aruch is also dependent on it. The Rebbe takes it to the next level. Every detail of our life is Pad B'Shalom Nafshi. And you don't even need opposition to break through it. And therefore, Yom the paragraph after Yom the paragraph is on a Tuesday or on a Yud, to bring about that Pad B'Shalom Nafshi is for real all the time. Pad B'Shalom Nafshi is living Yulidik. The Dasas Hashem Bavad is not just a fantasy. The Dasas Hashem Bavad is not just a vision of the Rambam that when Mashiach will come, the Dasas Hashem Bavad. You have to start now. The Dasas Hashem Bavad is loving Getlichkeit. If not fair, I shouldn't be the one talking. The Alter Rebbe brought about that Getlichkeit is for real. It's not inspiration. It's not a lifesaver even. Yes, therapist. It's not just a lifesaver. It is a lifesaver, but it's not just a lifesaver. It's a life liver day in, day out. You don't have to be on the stake to live a life of chassidus. That was the Bashans of the Maggid. In order to live, you can't live without chassidus. The Alter Rebbe says, no, in order to live, you have to live with chassidus. It's not, you can't live without chassidus. Live with chassidus. Day in, day out, every day. I shouldn't be the one talking. I'm down up to it. Erase the camera. Ich bin nicht scheich zu dem. Aber sehe die Metzies. Chassidus is a way of life. Chassidus is for real. When Chassidus find out and take it a day to the nafshi and make it real. Make it for real. And then Shtausa for him by I'm not shaykh to it. But that's for real. That's the Alter Rebbe. Till then it was like the Tzemach Tzedek says about tshuva. It's sarsaparilla. Sarsaparilla. That's what Alter Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek says of Vidui tshuva.
English. Huh?
Yeah, it's English. Check online. It's a super drug. It's a super remedy. Sarsaparilla. Check online. Sarsaparilla. Vidui tshuva, right? Sarsaparilla. Look at that mitzvah. Sarsaparilla.
Oh, yeah. He says over there that
Yeah.
only
Put
one
it.
capsule.
Yeah. Chassidus says sarsaparilla. Then the Chassidus comes along that every day it's a sarsaparilla. And as today's day and age, check online, it's a remedy, not just as a drug, but as living a good lifestyle. Hi. Let me check today, like Rabbi Young. The Rabbeim, with their Yom the Pagos, it's not just a nice celebration with salad and crackers and sushi, a rice coated with something. It's more than a ganze Getchke. Chassidus is basics. The Rebbeim infused in us life. So the Alter Rebbe went in jail because he gave us the life. He gave us, the light of the head of the tunnel. He gave us the light right here. Middle Rebbe came along and he penetrated within us. So it's a leven azay. You live it. It's not just a nice light shining on Rabbi Foss. It's a lichtig 11. In the kishkes, day in, day out, it is. So the Friedrich Rebbe took it that, as we said before, the Parshat Shulchan Aruch. The Rebbe brought out, Parshat Yidal Kislev, Parshat Tuesday, is part of B'Shalom Nafshi, expressing Gilei HaYechida. What's Gilei HaYechida? Gilei HaYechida is not a hocus pocus, or it's a heilige Wort, and, like the guy said by Talucha, no, wie gewinnt the Wort? A test Moshe Klita, a merdike Wort. It's not a merdike Wort. It's for real. Alkus is for real. And we take a Wort. Doesn't matter how many minutes you do before davening, but it's for real. And the davening is a gora under the davening. The davening is for real, and it's not just your personal life. It brings Ladas Hashem Bavad day in, day out, in a portion the Gash bis the Gelaben. It's gelebt Yiddishkeit, gelebt Chassidus. Mashiach comes, we're living Chassidus for real. All this memorial that we have on the wall will be for real. Right? Like the Rebbe said about the Vata that Tzemach Tzedek. Tzemach Tzedek said, "It's talking aha, right?" Since Mashiach would come, it's talking aha. The Rebbe said, "Tzemach been talking aha to them. It's not good." Meaning, they didn't live it all along. They were missed out. They're out for lunch. Chassidus is 11 them aha. What's the aha? It's not aha laughing at them, but aha. This is what we lived all along. We had Mashiach all along. And that's Chag Geulah. Why is it called Chag Geulah? It's Chag B'diah. What's Chag Geulah? Every Geulah is part of the Geulah close that we're about to experience any second of. As it's true. Chag Geulah is the Rebbe fought for it and got it, the Geulah. But now us as Chassidim, we have to have the Geulah process along with it. Live it for real. I'm not trying to what I'm saying. I shouldn't be the one talking. The Gula Klolis is dependent on the Gula Protis. In order to have the Gula Klolis of Klal Yisrael, someone has to live it. Can't just be for fake.
No shtickling. You can't make a shtick.
Mila what's the mitzvah l'shliach?
You've got to be able to do it for yourself. No shtickling, no something. It doesn't work.
Mila what's the mitzvah l'shliach?
But then I don't need to say that.
A thing you can't give over the shliach to
Right,
do.
exactly.
I shouldn't be the one talking.
Yeah.
I'm a Rabbi Jung. But as the Metzias, the Rebbe gave it up to us, to Chassidim. Us Chassidim, we have to live it to be it. We have to take those words of Chassidus and live by those words and make it vibrant within us. And we bring that out within ourselves. We have a Gula Klolis. The Gula Klolis cannot be without a Gula Protis. And there's no Gula Protis without the Gula Klolis. So that's what the Rebbeim were bringing us greatest heights. But they were our Rosh B'nai Yisrael. We said all along, they're our Rosh. It's not just a Rosh Yeshiva that came up with a controversial concept and they're going to arrest them for it. No! The Rebbeim were our Rosh. They're our switchboard. They're navigating our Kishkes. Our Kishkes live by the Rebbeim. The Rebbeim are our switchboard. And they give us that light and the inspiration and they pick us up. And they give us navigation how to do it. They don't just like tell us a nice Mordik word on a Parsha or a Mordik word on a Chazal. No. The Rebbeim infusing us, they give us navigation as we brought from the Frierdiker Road to the Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe goes to the Kishkis of the Baal Aveda and he gives them navigation. He tracks it like a tractor. He digs and he digs within his Kishkis to bring him out from his blotter. We have our blotters. True, we have our blotter. But the Rebbeim dig and dig and dig and they bring in light. And they schlep us out of our blotter to bring us in our Gula Protis, yes, in our own personal life. Avodas Hashem. It's not just thou shall serve the Eibishter. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop, papa. No. Take the lichtige Werte of Chassidus. Live by it. Live. There's Chaim, not just there's earth. It's not just a lichtige word. It's in your bloodstream. It penetrates within you. Make it for real. Make it alive. I'm ashamed of it. I shouldn't be the one talking. That's part of Shalom Nafshi. The Rebbeim take us through it. They want to Messiah's Nefesh for us. The Rebbeim gave their life away. To shed light for us personally and for the world at large to bring about the Gula Protis within our own personal life. It's not just we learn instead of a Bavli or a Shalmi or a Rambam or a Tosefta, we learn about Chassidus. Chassidus is to open up ourselves to avoid Gettlichkeit. Open up to be for real for Gettlichkeit. Oh, I shouldn't be the one. To make it for real by us, to make it the piata there. Not just our head, we're big philosophers, we know the depth of Chassidus. That's not what Chassidus is all about. Chassidus is it should reach the piata. It should reach the heel. From her head, it penetrates our heel. And through that, the Rebbeim brought about us a geula. A geula, a race from the. It's not the light of the head of the tunnel. Light. We bring about the geula in our tunnel and the ois tunnel. And through that, even though kislev on a Tuesday, Heitevis on a Tuesday, to bring about the pol the b'shal nafshi that our yichida are close, and within our kishkas yichida are close, that even our personal yichida should be redeemed, should be taken out of the goals, and let us have the Gula Shtein with the Rebbe B'Rishena.
One, 5, 3. 1, 5, 3. And a quarter.
Yeah.
Was ist der Fall jetzt? Was ist der Fall der Plache?
Or the plach.
She wants to know where she.
Nein.
She's very confident. I saw that everybody loves
Or the plach.
going to school.
The magic words and the sensitive words. What's the Belgate? I'm not shy to this. But they
If anybody was shaykh to it, I don't know if you can find somebody, any shaykh. The Rebbe was shaykh.
Yeah.
But after the Rebbe, you need also somebody has to say something, even if they're not shaykh. So just stop worrying about what you're shaykh to or not.
Sag was mit darf.
Okay? More
Sag
shaykh
the
than
sag
not.
the sag the pasuk.
Direct me see
Decide what if it's child or not.
we're not looking at that. We're just looking at what do we have to do. Sometimes you have to spell it out.
The bottom line is that everybody is a Beinoni at every moment of the day, yes? When they're not doing something, they're Beinoni. Right now, they're Beinoni, yes?
But
So
now you have to listen.
right now, you're absolutely shaykh to it. Done.
Easier said than done. Easier said than done.
No. This is what we learned in the Chassidus.
Easier said than done.
No, it's game you said, like,
As asking. Ich bin so ziemlich bei mir. Smi basel el kus. A my man muskel mamish.
Erzählt Geld, aber es ist alles ein Egel Wader.
A my man muskel, but it has to do with Rabbi Yuzevich over here. When I was a shlichus tov shesamachal by Rabbi Yuzevich's father. Yeah. There's MS.
Okay.
So it was tov shesamachal. It was Yevushana from tov she Yud Aleph. So we decided we're going to make a raffle. Anyone that does 3 oasis of Basel Leganin gets into the raffle to go to the Rebbe. I called the Rebbe. Right was from Bar Park. He gave me money for 3 tickets to go to the Rebbe. And 3 raffles. We're going to make raffles to go to the Rebbe. It's a lot of us. To be honest, I'll tell you, my man was good. Shut off the camera.
dog off. It's off.
Sag,
It's off. The camera's off.
Stop.
Shut! No.
No.
So I also want to go to the Yovel Shana from the Tavshid Alpha. I want to go in. So I opened the English Kaddish. And there's a letter to the Naftali Rot. I actually used to conduct with the of the Inyanim. And the Rebbe says like this: you're anyhow coming in for Tishrei. Stay where you are. And Tishrei was the kumma. I decided to call my mashpia Reb Shalom Charitonov. Mishpacha, right?
Sure.
I asked him, he said, get back to me. I called him a week later, he said, get back to me. The poil, he tells me, stay where you are. Okay. My man Musger, when it came Pesach, I asked him what's the pshat. He said, to be honest, when you asked me, I didn't know what to do. So I opened the English. And it was a letter to the Naftali Rock.
Wow. Same letter.
Same exact letter.
Wow.
They have told him, stay put where you are, and you're coming tissue. What's the about?
This is Mashu. Maybe you find it. I don't wonder.
Same exact letter. Okay, ain't gonna mock it.
Yes, I'm okay.
So, because we made that every 3 oisius you get into the raffle to get into the Rebbe. There's a bocher. He's now a big shliach in Afakim. He made a 7 deal over there. Shnei Kennig. No, let him be online. Let him be. Shnei Kennig.
Du bist nicht online?
Ich weiß nicht.
Okay.
Ich höre zum Wand. Die Wand hält, ist nicht mein Schuld. So, Bekitzer, Shnei Kennig, he was then, he's an edler bacher, but nicht the größte Maße. But he used to make copies. He used to make copies for the Zeitung from, what's his name, no? No, the Mashgiach, no. Ornstein. He's the principal of the Ornstein, but he was one. And the Poil, he learned 72 oisius of Basel Gani. 72 oisius. 72 oisius. And the Poil, he did not win the raffle.
24. That's 24 times 3.
24 chances, yeah.
But he didn't win. Well, the Poil comes a Freitag Erev Yud tells me, his job was also to set up the Tishtach. He used to make the copies for Ornstein's. As Rabbi Yezevich knows, that he used to make that the Gemara should be explained, very explained, but he used to make also the Tishtach, the tablecloths for Shabbos, he used to set up. So, that was the. He saw the Maimon was alive to him. He truly didn't win the raffle to go to the Rebbe, but he lived it. How did we get into the Killing? Just the guy. But the idea was of course, how do we get into this?
You got into it because you thought you're not shaykh.
I'm talking about Shai.
Yeah. Stop talking.
Shots online. I'm talking about Shai. But the thing is, you live it, you be it.
By the way, I think the Mashpiyas is supposed to say it. They say a bird. Fake it till you make it. Go on.
I'm still faking it. I didn't make it yet. Don't convince yourself. But the idea is that he lived the ice of the Maimer was so real to him. He told me, I don't see Tishtach, I see Tzvoy. He was so infused with the Maimer, so infused with the Boston Gani, it was for real by him.
And you being able to talk is real by me.
I don't know. I've yet to work on it.
You see, open up his Chabad, he's doing something.
He made us something of Hakim.
He's doing something.
So the thing is, I don't know if I'm shaykh to it.
No.
The thing is, Shah. That's Mavalo. I'm not shaykh.
I'll do it. Even though it was quiet.
The word is Azoi. The Rabbi made Al-Kus real by us. It's not just that the Alter Rebbe said, there's Pshat Rebbe's Drush Sod, and there's Yichide. The Rebbe explains in Kultus in Yona, Shatesach Sidis, Rebbe explains that there's the Nefesh Ruch Neshama Chaya, and then there's Yichide. True. But our course is that it's real. The Chassidus that we learned before that, it's not just a subject. This one learns Bavli, this one learns Yishalmi, this learns Rambam. it's for real. I'm not sure. But the Alkus, it's not just a subject, it's not just, when I was in Chassid class, I went to Bechaikim. So even there, Be'alevsky is also eingesund. I think where Judaism is not a subject but a way of life. Alkus is for real. It's not just we have a medrash or we have a subject. It's not just we have an agadita which speaks to our heart. Alkus is the way of life. That's what the Rebbeim infused in us. That's what the Rebbeim gave. That life away for us. And it's also for Alkus to be Alkus b'pshitus, mitzis b'scharchus, that we should live a way of Alkus. That's what the Rebbeim gave their life away for us. I shouldn't be the one talking about such a grubby. Shut the camera.
That's the beauty of being a hood.
Oh,
That's the beauty of Reim Ha'ud, that's one.
I feel the government.
I feel the government.
Ay,
I was the government.
ay, 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 ay. Stop saying
tomorrow there'll be clouds and
this godless war. Nation after nation we are conquered. Oh, when this goes.